Good morning, everybody. I'm Bryant, the Over 60 guy, and today is part 2 of my series on sugar. Is sugar the devil? I had an introductory video on that, and then yesterday or the day before I covered 5 points on sugar, and those are demonstrating how sugar deceives us. And today I'm going to talk about how sugar destroys our life and can kill us. And so this is an important topic. So in the middle of my walk, I had to sit down so that I could talk to all of you. I'm on my walk. I'm on my morning walk. I hope for all of you that have been into my channel and have accepted our 30-day Get Fit challenge. Part of it is walking. So we walk an hour in the morning. And then after that, we do push-ups and squats and some isolation exercises, and then of course we reduce our calorie intake, especially sugar. Sugar is such a disruptor in our life and causes so many ills. If you haven't checked out part 1, I go over the first 5 points of how sugar deceives us. And you know, it's true that the enemy deceives us, right? The devil deceives us, and so does sugar. And so that's a great video. Go check it out. And this morning I had to sit down because this is such an important topic. It's very detailed and I don't want to miss facts. So that's why I'm sitting down in the middle of my walk, and I hope you're out there walking too. So point number 6 in our 10-point series. Point number 6, sugar promotes the growth of fat in the body. Excess sugar changes how the brain responds to food and promotes fat storage. Fructose does not trigger the fullness signal, so people just keep eating. Fructose bypasses leptin signaling, the hormones that tells you you're full. High sugar intake raises ghrelin, the hunger hormone, and increases your appetite. This leads to overeating and accumulation of vesicular fat, the dangerous fat that wraps around your organs and increases disease risk. This was really important to my wife and me. She really has been focusing on the visceral fat. It's very difficult for males to lose that visceral fat, especially around the organs and the stomach. You know, the old saying is butts and guts. Women store it in the butt and men in the gut. And so this is very important because sugar increases that fat around our organs. Sugar is highly addictive. Sugar stimulates the brain reward center, releasing dopamine, the same response triggered by addictive drugs. MRI studies show that sugar lights up the same brain regions as cocaine and heroin. Over time, dopamine receptors downregulate, require more sugar to feel pleasure. Classic addiction behavior. People with a genetic predisposition to addictions are especially vulnerable. So sugar can be highly addictive. I would estimate that most of us would agree to that. And point number 8, sugar is the leading cause of obesity in adults and children. Remember I asked you to Google those images, beach scenes 1960 and beach scenes today. This is just an accumulation of a doubling in sugar of the average American, average Western's diet. The food manufacturers have increased sugar into all their products to make it more, make it more pleasing. So sugar is very addictive, and sugar is very hard on children as well. So sugar consumption is directly linked to weight gain across all groups. Sugar impact on leptins and insulin disrupts the body's ability to regulate weight. Fructose converts easily into fat, especially when consumed as liquid calories, sodas and juices. Remember I talked about juices. People used to get their, all their vitamins through natural foods and fruits and vegetables. And then someone came along and said, oh, let's can oranges and make it a juice. And there's so much sugars in that. Sweet tea, it's, sodas. So if you want to, just one big step is just stop that and drink more water. Part of my regimen is I drink a full glass of water before I walk, and then I drink one afterwards. Large studies show sugary drink consumption increases obesity risk by up to 60%. 60%. So remember that the next time you go searching for a sugary drink in the convenience store. Also, number 9, sugar is a direct link to heart disease. Sugar, not fat, is a primary driver of cardiovascular disease. Excess sugar raises triglycerides and increases small, dense LDL cholesterol, the most dangerous type. Sugars promote chronic inflammation in blood vessels, leading to plaque buildup and atherosclerosis. Anyway, it's a long word. Anyway, it leads to that. And multiple long-term studies confirm that high sugar diets raise the risk of heart attacks and strokes. You get that? High sugar diets. So we need to cut down on sugar, folks. And then point number 10. Sugar addiction can lead to social withdrawal, low self-esteem, and reduced physical activity. As sugar drives obesity and related health issues, many individuals experience reduced mobility, energy, and confidence. Dopamine hijacking makes sugary foods more rewarding than social and physical activities. Though not heavily studied, clinical observations link poor health and social isolation, especially in older adults. So I think we've seen it. People who, myself included, over time overeat with sugar, and we add on the pounds. And over time, this can lead to isolation, which will destroy our social life. Kind of talking about addictions. When I was in Iraq, I'm a broadcast journalist at the time, and I had the honor and privilege to tell the soldier story. And so I would travel around all parts of Iraq, and I would share people's stories. And one of the guys that I met, he was telling me about how when he was in Germany, he was addicted to video games. I mean, he was obsessed, especially one in particular. And I think it was World of Warcraft. And he was just every day and night, he would binge his whole time off. He would not sleep, and he would play it because he was so trying to remain on top. And I guess it's where you get rewarded, and the longer you play. And he was starting to get in trouble, missing formations, and he was just obsessed, and he was about to lose his career. And one day he just grabbed all of his equipment, his gaming equipment, and he threw it in the trash. And he said, no more. And that night he went out with some friends for the first time in like months and months and months, maybe half a year. First time he was out, and he met a young lady, and they wound up falling in love and getting married. And so, I wrote this article called Back to Reality, and talking about his story. But sugar and the increased intake of sugar can create an addiction to it, especially in certain people. And they would just withdraw, and they isolate, and no longer are they social anymore. So it's really bad. I mean, I know some of you probably won't agree on sugar. You'll say alcohol, and certainly alcohol is addictive. But the difference is that sugar is now winding up in everything. I mean, they probably put sugar in hot dogs. I mean, I don't know. They put it in everything. They put sugar in, bread. They put sugar in, everything. Like I said, the average consumption is doubled. And probably in some people's lives tripled, because some people have clued in and don't do it. So for those, who are consuming sugar, it's probably tripled. And I go to this morning convenience store every morning. I get a decaf coffee. That's the other thing, I drink decaf. And I look around the store, and literally the only thing healthy in that store is probably the coffee, the water, and the bananas. Everything else is not healthy. It's packaged, it's sugared, and it's crazy. It's crazy. So we live in a world obsessed with sugar. And so, for myself included, we got to remind ourselves constantly, and I have to be reminded constantly, and I'm hoping this will be a reminder too. Just try to put it down, especially the sugary drinks. You could stop that. And anyway, that's my rant on sugar. And for those of you who are first time, if you found value in my video, I would hope that you would exercise your finger, boop, and hit a like, hit a subscribe, write some comments down. I get a lot of comments on my posts. This community is very active, and making great friends, worldwide friends actually. So it's pretty cool. Anyway, I'm praying that God will bless you today. And for now, I'll talk to you later. Bye.